What is more powerful, karma or destiny?
Well, these two strong lobbies have their own arguments and counter arguments for that to prove their theories. But as such, destiny and action, the karma, are interrelated, just like our left and right foot. We pick up left, and the right holds the weight of the body. We pick up the right foot, and the left foot holds the weight of the body. And henceforth, we walk. The walk happens because of this. Similarly, what our destiny is, it is the sum calculation of our all actions which we did in our past. And now the seeds of our those actions are sprouted and ready to give us the fruit. And this fruit is called the destiny. The destiny is not that which someone else writes for us. One thing which I like to clear up is normally when we say destiny, then we tend to believe that God wrote our destiny, and in a jovial way, many times when we are facing some unfortunate times, then we say, God must be in a bad mood. He wrote such a wrong story. The script is so poor of my life. But actually, the destiny is the sum total of our actions which we did in the past. But again, someone can ask, how did that day one and the action number one happened? How did the story unfolded? Another philosophical question on which we can ponder, but there's no use. I would just like to take a clip of Mullah Nasruddin. Once he was having a chit chat with his son, and he felt like asking a question from his son just to see how much IQ level his son has it. He asked his son, can you give me answer? The hen first or the chicken? His son went silent for some time in a very, very mystical way. And then he said, Father, I have the answer. Mullah was so happy because up till now, no one had the answer. Whether the egg comes first or the hen comes first, who comes the first? The son said, well, Father, egg comes first and the hen comes later. Mullah said, can you expound more? His son Fazlu said, yes. Eggs in the breakfast, hen in the afternoon, lunchtime. So here my answer is. So whether action happens first and then destiny comes, or the destiny happens first, and then in accordance to that, our actions are pre-planned. It's again another difficult way to see the things, but the destiny as such is the sum total of our all actions which we have done, is the accumulation of all those actions, and turn by turn these actions then begin to give us the fruit. But what is now becomes our past. And what is future one day becomes our present. So whatever actions which we are doing now, when I'm saying now, it's every second. When I'm saying now, it's just not the 24-hour, one full day. I'm not talking even of 1 hour. I'm talking about not only minutes, but also the seconds. So in this nowness, whatever actions I'll be doing, and definitely we cannot live without doing something. We will be doing something, good or the bad, and then this now will move into my past. Because time is moving. It's a cycle. It's not linear, it's in a cycle. So is the life, so is the world, so is the time, and so are our actions. So we do something now, it moves with the course of the time in our past and gets accumulated or added upon into that account which we already have. So this means even if I have a big account of bad deeds, but if the realization dawns upon me that I can change my destiny by changing my now, this means I begin to be good, do good, and then this goodness gets added upon into my this accumulated past deeds account, which works like a destiny. So in a way, it's so true that we are the fathers of our own destiny. We do make our destiny. This is the power of the thought. This is the power of the mind. When we apply this our power in a positive way in our present, in our actions, it definitely yields the result in my future, in the next moment which is going to happen to me. So what I did in my past, if is hurting me today, then definitely what I will do today will change my tomorrow. So in a way, action and destiny are not two very different things or foreign from one another. They are interrelated. They are very much interrelated. Although sometimes we wonder, who would like to be poor? And people are poor and they are suffering because of their poverty. But if you have ever read autobiography of a rich and famous, they get sick of their being famous. They get sick of all the paparazzi. They get sick of all the wealth which they have accumulated with hard work. And I remember I met someone who, a very rich person, and he said, Gurumaa, I'm just coming back from my holiday. I said, where did you went? He said, I went into a village. And Gurumaa, I had the joy of my life. We had a great fun. I said, fun in what way? He said, we slept in a barn. I said, well, in a barn? And yes, in the stables, the horses were there. We walked. I enjoyed. They slept on the ground, underneath the stars. And he's enjoying that. And he's the richest of the richest person who could buy anything and any luxury of the world, but yet he's finding joy by sleeping on the floor in a barn with the horses, with all that hay around him, and yet he's having a heyday. Very, very known to celebrities. They got sick of all the attention which they were hungry for at one time. And then they just want to be live in a very secluded place where no one knows them. They'll sometime use masks and garbs to hide their identities. Someone can ask, whoever can ever wish to be a widow? Ask the pain of the widow, what she is going through. I think so in today's time, still you will find scores of women who are wed to a drunkard, alcoholic, criminal, very angry person. And such a woman maybe prays for hundreds of times in one day that rather be a widow than to have a husband of this nature. Problem is this, what we wish for, we get that, but we don't remember when we made those wishes. We don't remember those times when we committed those actions. But every action works in a circular way and comes back to us, good or bad. So even if anything bad is happening today, I know, logically speaking, it's so difficult to digest that I will ask unhappiness for me. But somehow, somewhere in the ignorance, in these alleys of the dark minds, we do wish for that also. So we are the creator of our destinies. And we do it by our own actions. And this is the power of the karma. And this is the power which every human being has it. And this means that we are responsible for our minds. And we are responsible for all of the responses which will happen because of this mind and mind's thought. We are responsible for all of our actions which are happening because of our mind. And mind is so vast that we really don't know our own mind. We really don't know our own subconscious mind. But whatever we see or hear or think, it all gets stored in the mind. And then in the moments of those unawareness, these responses or these thoughts which we have stored in our mind propel our actions. The seeds of the actions are right there in our mind. But when the action has already happened, we can't do anything. But when these thoughts are in the shape of the seed, so much can be done. And again, this is a big revelation that we can make a choice of what kind of seeds we will sow in our mind and what seeds we will take out and just throw it away. And we can do that also. And that happens in meditation, with the power of the meditation. We can root out all those thoughts which are lying in our subconscious, which move us to do those actions which we later on say, I am not responsible for. But we are responsible. The very nature of our thoughts is so that it never forgets anything. The imprints, as we say in Hindi, the samskaras, are so deep-rooted, so deep-rooted. It's just like the DNA of the body. You cannot change your DNA of the body. Similarly, we cannot change the DNA of the mind until and unless we learn to live vigilant, we learn to live awarefully, we learn the path of meditation, and then we begin to understand, and then we begin to have this power to discriminate what action is to be taken and what action is not to be taken. And with that, we begin to construct the house of our own destiny.